Hello, hello, collective. It's been a little while. The energies have just been really hit or miss with me lately. Not that they're not tapping into me, but they're tapping into me heavily, right? Or like normal, and when it's super heavy, like I just need to pull back. So for about a week now, I guess, since Suzanne passed, I've been getting hit here and there. There was a break as all of the things happened in Israel and Palestine, and so then it came back. So we're going to see what Suzanne is asking us to see. Okay, what she needs us to see. Okay, so for those of you that are new, welcome. This is an energy channel. So as an intuitive, sometimes spirit shows me things that are non-traditional. So if that does not resonate with you, then that's okay. It's not meant for you. All right, but I do feel like if you found this channel, that you will find a message in this for yourself. Okay, and not that it's like, so just so that you guys know, it's, yeah, sometimes I have some very far out woo, but it's not like it's so weird that Suzanne Summers would connect to me, because one of my very dearest best friends is actually connected to her family. So, right? Spirit just said, and birds of a feather. Okay, we do flock together. So, let's see what she wants to speak about here. Moonlight Serenade, of course. As we're moving into this lunar eclipse, change your tune. Okay, change your tune. What is it that you are really pulling out of the emotions? Is it darkness or is it wishes? Is it, that's Oliver that's moving the camera. Okay. Because it's the full moon behind her right now, but it's because of the light of the new moon that this awareness is coming through. Yeah, this is about accepting the yin, accepting with this full moon that you may need some help, that you can't possibly, like maybe you can't do all of this on your own, and you've been trying to control things, especially from this aspect of your inner child. And there's this part of you that you're sitting in this absolute desert, is how you're trying to portray it. And yet there's this serenade of emotions available for you, that it's almost like the moon is kind of sneaking up on you to be like, we're gonna get you to wake up to this. Okay, some of you just need to have a little prayer, a little gratitude session. Okay, a little namaste, so to speak. Yeah. Okay, again, Suzanne is coming through here with this blast from the past. Okay. Something from your past, from your childhood. All right. Something from that time period that resonates with you in whatever way, shape, or form is coming up to the surface with this moon, with this lunar eclipse. Where there used to be palm trees, now there's different trees or different bushes, and where there used to be, you know, these beautiful beaches that you can remember, you know, playing on, or, you know, wherever it was that you were, this sort of, even if you were fantasizing along with those shows in that time frame, right? That was your escape. That there's something there transforming and growing from that. There's something there from almost like the peace and serenity that some of that gave you. There's something there for you. And part of the way that you're controlling this is just trying to avoid drama. Okay? But by avoiding it, you're missing the whole beauty here of the past. You're missing the whole beautiful energy of what was for you. Yeah. And the knowledge here, Spirit's saying, if you don't acknowledge this and release, it's just going to come back. Okay, it's just going to come back around into another cycle. Yeah. And some of that is just, you have to forgive. You have to forgive something or someone. All right. And that way you can release and use the moon to bring in the law of attraction and bring in what's blossoming for you. Okay, let's look at this full moon forgiveness. Okay, which is about a completion. Okay, it's a 46. You need to be more forgiving of someone, or maybe it's you that needs forgiveness. Either way, what you need to know when you draw this card is that whatever you want can come your way, but you have to move through forgiveness first. Resentment causes energetic blockage. Maybe you need to forgive a partner or parent, and once you do, you'll magically release something that is currently blocking your way forward. The full moon is perfect for emotional releases, as all your emotions rise to the surface. All the better for you to face up to them. Forgiving someone doesn't mean what happened is okay, but it does mean you're ready to move on. Explore these ideas in relation to whatever you're asking about, or take them as general guidance. The situation you're asking about will be healed for all once you've let go of the bitterness. There's no guarantee as to the outcome, but forgiveness will be a step in the right direction, and either way you'll feel better. Additional meanings for this card: don't get too crazy. Release resistance. It's time to move on. This is the peak of your situation. Breathe through dramas. Life hardly gets any crazier than it does as a supercharged full moon. Get out under the moonbeams and soak it up, but remember to breathe through any emotional explosions. Now, one of the things that they brought to my mind as I was reading that was this, in one of my coursework, we're going through learning about the mysticism of Sufism, okay? And there is this one person in my class that I was like, I don't know if you are like complimenting my reflection or if you are degrading my reflection. But I will say this is an individual who really has some issue with the divine masculine energy that has to be forgiven, that has to be worked out. But Another person in the class from the exact same reflection was like, wow, right? Like, there is a lot of heavy masculine, because there was a quote that I used about how Rumi had said something about destroying the masculine heart in the vast universe. And what I saw in that line, what Spirit showed me in that line from Rumi, was about, this was like destroying that toxic shell over the masculine heart, and almost like crumbling the aspect that the universe is hard and rigid, and to allow it to be that flowing and that expansive energy that is part of the sacred masculine. And I had to say, yes, sacred masculine. Like, ever since I started my healing process, more and more the sacred masculine has showed up in my life. But I had to heal my inner feminine in order to be open to a higher source of sacred masculinity, okay? Even within myself, that sacred masculinity. And so it's really, I feel like it's very important that we look within ourselves. Like, where do we feel torn apart? If you're walking around all day with a negative attitude, again, this brings to mind to me, like, so one of my friends locally recommended that I join this group so that when I get ready to start dating, it's a local group, and if you meet someone on a dating app, then you can say, oh, hey, is this person great for coffee? Or are there some red flags that you may have known about if this is someone who gets around a lot, okay? And I haven't dated for decades, right? So all new to me. There were no dating apps when I was dating. So I'm in there and I watch this stuff. Well, a group of men who are very toxic masculinity have created a page where they have created fake profiles to join this group as fake women. And they come in here and they screenshot what these women say, and then they post it in public, which is cyberbullying, which is really toxic, right? And so that could put somebody in huge danger if they're dealing with someone who is very, very toxic, okay? But you can't walk around in life, and I see this a lot in this group, where there's a lot of these women that are just like, oh, I'm just not going to date because there's just nothing out there. There's just no men. There's just no whatever, right? And these men that are doing that are like, yeah, women are all hoes. They're all biatches and whatever, right? Those are people that are not going to find love. I mean, that's a lot of what I walk through in the Awakened Heart book that I just released, which kind of combined a lot of the work that we did in the course that I put on like a year and a half ago for empaths, for opening their heart and healing their wounds. And Oscar's like, yeah, I dig that. And so there is this part, I feel like, where number one, you have to forgive yourself for whatever guilt or blame or regrets or shame you're walking around with, and let that go with the moon. Second, you have to allow yourself to say, you know what? I don't forgive what that person did, but I can forgive that they did it to me enough to let it go and move on. And I can say that coming from a space where, like, I am still unpeeling the onion of the massive amounts of abuse that I went through in my childhood and young adult life, okay? And even in my marriage. So you have to forgive, or you'll never be open to what the world and the universe have available for you, because you're always going to have a shield in front of your heart. And if you have that shield in front of your heart, then you don't have an energy flow. And in the end, that lack of energy flow, that lack of chi, right, in many traditional ancestral practices would tell you that that's what really takes away your life force, is that you don't have any moving chi. Okay. Yeah. The devil within is what keeps you from expressing yourself. When you express yourself to the angels, to the ancestors, to the moon, to the sacred spaces, other dimensions, whatever it is that you're expressing yourself to, then you free yourself from the devil. And you can love yourself and know that you're worthy of abundance. And as you do that, it strips away these toxic beliefs about what you had in terms of yourself, because you love yourself as the beautiful mystic unicorn that you are. Okay? And that's very important for us, and to get under that moonlight, like they said, and to allow that frequency to come over you and open yourself up. Stretch beyond your means. Allow yourself to let your power rise by being open and releasing and allowing whatever sacredness of the universe, of the plants, of the world around you to come in and flow. And let those emotions lead you into a rebirth. You're like a dragonfly. Out of those emotions, you are going to blossom into something new. And that opens up choice. And I think that's what you need to hear, is that this is about opening up choices for you where you haven't had or haven't felt you had choice. Yeah. And for some of you, this is bringing you clarity within your home. For some of you, that's your own body. For some of you, this is within the home that you live in. But it's a massive transformation that allows you a serenity within yourself. And underlying this, they want you to know that deep within that crown chakra, there is a inner wisdom of what is attracting to you and what you're aligned to. Okay. And I'm feeling this, it's like this poke in my solar plexus, right? It's almost like somebody's finally opening up that space to connect to that solar plexus. Okay. So the fear of completion for the Empress has been a big part of the totality here, right? And in a way, I can feel that from Suzanne. And it wasn't that she was afraid to cross that path. It was this fear of the totality of it all, that she would not be here in physical form for those that she loved. Okay? And that it was a big completion for the heart. And I'm really feeling that this did have a lot to do, her passing, with her heart. Okay. And I do think that I love this, the taming power of the great, the Wolverine, the fierce willpower, and the tenacity, okay, of the sacred masculine. I can almost feel like a cradling behind, like a hand right behind the neck right here. There's this presence of knowing that the devotion is there. And that space right there is just below the outer major chakra where I'm feeling. And a lot of times we get old narratives stuck there. And so it's almost as if the sacred masculine energy is touching that back of that space. Doesn't matter whether you are female or male, okay? And it's just an energy, and it's saying, I'm opening the path for you to let that go. Okay? And that's the work. And it's a very collective work right now, because the miscellaneous devil's energy is sneaky out there right now, okay? And it wants you to be in solitude, and it wants you to be non-committal and non-judgmental, okay? And we're allowed to have judgment, okay? In the aspect of, we can forgive, but we can still say, but that was still wrong behavior. Like I posted, I have a private Facebook profile now. I was off Facebook for a year because of the situation that I'm going through with my ex-partner. And so now it's all private. But I posted on there that, you know, there's a deep history here on both sides of what's going on in Israel and Palestine, right? Like there have been equal numbers of Jewish people from the Holocaust, and actually even pre-Holocaust from World War I, that were slaughtered. And even in the ways that Hamas was slaughtering, right? Like more of the Jewish people died in the war, in the Holocaust, from bullets and that kind of violence than from what we think of when we think of the Holocaust, okay? And so, yet, when the world, specifically the British, okay, wanted to make it right by creating this homeland for Israel, in order for the British, because we're the colonial owners of this land, to stay in power, they ended up taking far more than was necessary. And in that aspect, not only did they also slaughter a lot of Palestinians, but they pushed them into this teeny tiny space and sent, huge amounts into refugee camps where they still are. And so it's okay to say there have been atrocities on all sides of this. But it's also okay to say, you know what? The real problem here is power hungry, greed, and toxicity. And the devils who are saying, we're doing this for independence. And they are not. They're doing it for power. Because I guarantee you, the average people living over there this is not what they want, right? This is not what they would have. Yeah, the change has to come from shedding the past, shedding the directions, shedding the life force, and transforming. And through that, this confident new masculine energy that's very serene and resolute will come through, almost as an energy of deliverance, okay? But it comes from weeding out the snakes, weeding out the toxic masculine frequencies, which definitely the age of Aquarius is going to do, although that's going to be a long age, okay? And again, realizing that a lot of this is just distraction and theatrics and storytelling of why people are doing things when it's all for power and money, right? Yeah, the end is coming of this kind of a command. This kind of command, this kind of process of biting through things to force change in that way is changing. New leadership is coming. New domains will be created. And this will shift. And Mother Spider, who is my sacred totem teacher, right, is reminding me here that the creativity is that we are weaving a new world together. And it's part artistic and it's part sensuality, and it is partly becoming one. And part of that becoming one is this aspect of recognizing that the forces of feminine and masculine reside within all of us. And in some ways, we are all non-binary. I don't know what that noise was, and I don't know why Oliver is doing that. Let's see if I can fix you a little bit back. Maybe not. Oliver, look what you've done. So let's see what else is going on. There's going to be some big news on Wednesday, probably before bedtime. So it may impact your sleep. It may make you stay up to listen to things, okay? Or just downloads that you're getting. Again, it may pause Virgo energy. It may pause you to think at a higher spiritual level. For some of you, I'm getting this may be a sadly early snowstorm. Okay, sorry to be the messenger. Okay, but this is a energy cycle that has been a soul contract with this dimension that is actually never ending, and it's got to be called out from the past in order to move forward to the future. And it's coming into our heart spaces right now at a belated time, just because there was a lot of protective energy that was trying to keep this from coming in. But we're moving out of the karmic year 777, and so things are awakening and we're seeing more clearly than ever. And Jupiter says it's time for expansion. It's time for hope and to clear out the confusion so we can move into the year of the 888s and open our hearts to receive. Okay. Can you give me a little bit of advice moving forward, Spirit? Okay. Again, the year of the 8s is coming. Strength is coming. They're also reminding me that this is two paths walking together, masculine and feminine. Okay, whether it's just within ourselves or just as collective energies walking together. This is divine to happen at this timing for this to come together. Okay. Father of Wands and the Ace of Wands. All right. I do feel like this is a huge shift of energy that is been waiting to wake up in terms of the masculine energies, to seek heart spaces, to seek divine love, to seek where I'm meant to be. There's 2 of Cups and the 9 of Cups. Again, I've got 1111 here. And so Spirit just wants you to know that this is a beautiful energy. And now I've got 1111, 1111. That we're all walking the same path. We're all walking literally the same destination. Okay? And spiritually, you know that. And there's, again, justice. In this deck, it is the 8, but with the 3, it becomes the 11 again. So this is very divine. And again, this 2, the High Priestess on the bottom, is another 11. Spirit says you're going to be seeing a lot of these activations and portals opening. And this is why it's coming. Okay. So advice for the divine masculine frequency, Spirit. Thank you. 11, balance, justice. Okay. Allow yourself to balance in your equality and to resolve the resistance of being balanced in your feminine and masculine energies. Your old masculine energies, especially from ancestors and childhood, have held you in place of 5 of Pentacles, clinging to the past, stuck. And it's time to let that go. Okay, that's the ghosts. That's what's keeping you disappearing, right, from what you're meant to be. And it's time to let go of that. Until you do, you will not be able to touch your soul purpose. And it'll feel just out of reach, especially in terms of your soul bond. Okay. There's the Queen of Swords. And there's the Full Faith. Some of you know who this divine connection is, this soul bond. And this is why you are not with that energy, person, place, or thing. Okay. Advice for the divine feminine frequency. Okay. You are healing. Healing at a deep level on your body and your body image. 4 of Swords, healing your heart chakra, requiring a lot of rest. Okay, again, the heart coming through. So I really feel like there's something about Suzanne's heart that she's trying to tell us, just as a confirmation for anyone that knows that this is confirmed, okay? Again, ready, having faith, the Fool, ready to start anew, but in connection with an unexpected leap ahead, okay? You are going through a rebirth, my divine feminines, and this means that you are going to believe in this open, higher sense of intimacy, again, that maybe you had forgotten, but it's not going to come without some tests, where there's going to be options that you're going to have to determine what is meant for me and what is not meant for me. Okay, because not everything is meant for you, and that which is not, you need to block it and allow that justice to come. Yeah, there's justice again. Allow that justice, that balance to come through. New cycle for you. Okay, so let's close it out with an oracle. Yeah, all right, Spirit. We're going to pull from the shamanic deck here to close it out. Yeah, again, what we're meant to be holding on to is coming in the future, and we will see it on the horizon. But expect some big aha moments along that path, but it's an aha moment to bring in some sunshine, okay? Be patient with it. It doesn't happen overnight. It does take a little bit of time, okay? So I love you guys. And yes, here in the Seattle area, we are having a freezing cold front, and I was outside and it was chilly, and so that is outside under the moonlight, and that is why I'm wearing my coat. So there you have it. And I also keep my house cold, so you also know that. Frugal. So I love you guys. Have a very beautiful week. Okay, bye.